the name tags. Hello and welcome back to ESA Cup Season 7. Today we're back once again with the quarterfinals. I'm joined by this way.
Hey, yep. There we go. Whiskey
Mr.
glitter. What's happening? Back in the ESA, folks. Can't freaking
We're
wait.
back
This is gonna
again.
be, hell of a game to be sitting casting with you, Naj.
So we have information on a couple of the teams. And by a couple of the teams, I mean both of them. But we have eWAVE versus Flawless 7. And, well, there's a lot to touch on with these two teams in particular when it comes down to, especially on the eWAVE side. eWAVE have been pretty prominent across multiple different leagues so far, and they've definitely been really sort of stating their purpose, especially when it comes down to these leagues just in general. But the side of Flawless 7 are essentially dead to rights because they're folding after the season. So it's like they're gonna try, but it's like, as much as I believe that sort of capacity and skill wise that Flawless 7 should win this game, it's very, very possible that eWAVE do come out on top very, very easily, because I mean, let's be completely real, like, are Flawless 7 are they going to be trying that hard?
Who knows, right? It could be some of that magic of the, you know what, let's just make this ending the best that we could, since we're going to be ending it after here. And they consider themselves to have pretty good chemistry, right? So comp's going to be on point, teamwork's going to be crazy. We're going to be watching that refrag game be something wild. I don't know, could be a pretty freaking good game if you're going out, make it awesome. I'm here for it.
All right. Well, we will just run through a few random things quickly before we start ourselves up. We're going to go to the bracket and have a look at what we've got so far. For some reason, it's not updated, but the winner of this game moves on to play MDF in the semifinals. And then I'm going to have to ask my production, but I'm pretty sure, was it NOP? Oh, Entropy won 2-0. Okay, so Entropy won 2-0 in their game. And then LDL and Mafia Squad haven't played yet.
Yeah, so going on to face MDF, and that's going to be one hell of a game, as they put together quite a good program. And then, I don't know, the Entropy game, I don't know if any of us really saw it going that way. So kind of a bit of some magic here in the phase 3 knockouts round.
Well, I mean, realistically, there's only one team that I predicted. Out of the two teams I predicted to make it to the finals, only one of them still exists, and that's MDF. Because I predicted MDF as my safe pick, and then NIP as my wild card. So I thought they would potentially be the two teams we do see, but instead I've been bullied. But let's have a quick look at the staff predictions, and then we'll quickly look at the maps and move on to the game. So staff predictions, as you can see, we got Bozmax voting F7, F7 for Pasta, eWAVE for Voight, F7 across the board for everybody else, apart from there is one other person, Nanos the Liar, who has voted for eWAVE. So, I mean, realistically, it's very F7-sided.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to see the magic, right? We're in the phase 3. We wanted to see something that's gonna bring a little bit of that heat, bring a little of that knockout magic. So, kind of predicting F7 to kind of come alive here at the end of their team run together. Yeah, mostly sitting in the side of F7. What do you think the people picked?
Well, where do we go take a look? Oh, we don't have one. Okay. So I'm getting word that we don't have a community vote. So let's have a look at the maps and not keep the players waiting for too much longer, because we've already bullied them for as long as we can. So Border Cafe, Consulate, and Skyscraper are all completely out of the mix, and we move on to Clubhouse and Chalet, which were picked in turn by F7 and eWAVE, and then Nighthaven and Bank were soon to follow as the next bands, with Oregon being the decider, eventually decided on by eWAVE, technically, because, eWAVE did the last ban.
Right.
So, realistically, it's a very basic map pool for the two teams, but something I realized, we do have a little bit of like information that has been gathered by the wonderful Bozo Max, that he's just put together for us. But something I did sort of realize from looking through the PDF document we have is eWAVE. Two of their favorite maps are Chalet and Oregon. And that's cool, because they're two of the maps that are there, right?
Right.
But then F7, two of their favorite maps, that the only two they've listed as their favorites are Clubhouse and Chalet. So I think we're in for a bit of a treat here, if I'm being completely real.
Oh, I'm thinking you're probably right. Right? No bias on our team, on our side. We want to see it be the best team moving forward. And how do you see that? How do I consider you the best? You take us to the decider map. We're doing a 1v1 showdown, and this is a map pool that we can see it in. I mean, this is about basic as your maps get, right? Not very much depth here in a Chalet, Clubhouse, and Oregon pick. But one thing that you can definitely know is that it's going to be Frag City. These are maps that they've played probably hundreds of times. I think last year I cast Oregon as a map 84 times total. So that's definitely a map that everybody is familiar with. And so, yeah, I think you're right. If there was ever a chance for this to go back and forth based solely on the map pool, this is it.
I mean, yeah, definitely. As I said, it's as you said, it's very, very high potential that this is going to be the stick of dynamite in the gasoline here. So it's just going to explode. Very explosive game, and we could be in for a pretty real treat. I'm just unsure about whether we've got all players in the lobby, but we're gonna wait for a moment because no, we don't.
So let's yeah, I was about to say, let's bring up the team stats. We saw what they say their best and worst maps are. Let's see what is actually their best and worst maps.
I mean, this is just statistically over the course of the cup, so take with a grain of salt.
Well, I mean, over the course of the cup, that's what we're playing, right? So, and we're going to see it. Oregon being the worst map for Flawless 7. That doesn't bode well.
Yeah, I mean, performance-wise, Oregon being the worst map for Flawless 7. I mean, there's no point really reading out the roster because we've spoken about them many times before. It's kind of understandable. It's like you had some pretty strong groups, and I know their group was fairly strong. I don't remember exactly who was in it in the group stage, and obviously Oregon was played a lot in the group stage. So it's like when you come down to playing Oregon that many times against teams that are just so strong, you're probably going to have some closer score lines and things like that. And with only like maybe six maps total across the entirety of the group stage actually being played, it's like you don't really have a massive sample size to really go off. But I think that's fairly interesting. It's something we can consider. The 89% win rate, 82% win rate on the opposite side. Chalet being the best and Nighthaven being the worst.
Oh man, now there's a map I could have loved to watch is Nighthaven. Not probably one of my favorite maps. But yeah, you said it. There wasn't very much games played, so best and worst can't be, taken too seriously. However, when you have a map, especially that's coming up in your current pool, right? Oregon being the worst for F7, and you've had a bad run of it in the cup, I mean, we could start checking the box for mental chalk here, especially if that's where the decider's going.
I mean, yeah. The thing that is really nice to consider and really fun to sort of analyze is the fact that on one side, you've got the side of F7, who their best map is Bank and their worst map is supposedly Oregon, as their performance throughout the Cup has shown. But on the opposite side, eWAVE actually have their best map in the Cup so far being one of the maps that they are going to be playing today. And, I mean, with Chalet being the second map of the day, you're guaranteed to play it. So it's not like one of those where Oregon is maybe going to be played, maybe not. Who knows? Someone could win 2-0. It could go 2-1. We might see all three. But it's like Chalet is definitely going to be played. And that's what makes it so much more interesting.
Yeah. And how about for map number 1, the first pick, Clubhouse, right? We've been watching a little bit of that meta switch on how it was played. In fact, I could quote you directly as saying Clubhouse has one of the only sites that has just about a completely unplayable map site in that CCTV and cache hold. I'm really excited to see how it's going to be brought out here. What kind of strats are we going to see? That standard castle in or Azami in the gym bedroom? Are we going to see that new castle or that new Azami trench warfare down by dirt? And what the heck are the bans going to be? Clubhouse has got probably one of the maps that you can see some of the off picks being utilized most, right? Attack wise, we've seen Hibana, we've seen Ace being taken off the board, Ram, of course, being a pick that we can see, the two standards, Dokkaebi and Ying. I mean, Clubhouse has the potential to probably, even though it's about as default as you can get, it's one of the funnest maps to watch because there's still so many different ways to attack and defend this map. So I'm excited to see Clubhouse.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited as well. It's as you said. I've said it many times before. Clubhouse is the only map in the game that has a site that's been played that many times. It's just not worth playing as a defender. Mm-hmm. So it's like you can defend it pretty well and pretty effectively if you bring along like 3 operators. And those 3 operators pretty much guarantee you a free win. But more than likely, one of them's banned. And if you're really unlucky, 2 of them are banned. And that's where you're like, And those 3 operators are Wamai, Fenrir, and Azami. And if you have all 3 of those operators on a Rafters hold, you just hold 2 people Rafters and you win the game. Like they have to push through construction at that point, and then pushing through construction is really awkward because of the safety of the angles behind the door, the way green box is played, the way red's played. It just makes the game so much harder, especially with the angles from the Rafters themselves. So you're going to be looking at things like that for the opposite side. So it's just one of those to really majorly consider. But more than likely, we're going to see Fenrir taken off the board. Let's be completely honest. Like, if any of them are going to be banned, it's going to be Fenrir. I think it's more than likely going to be a Fenrir and Mirror for defense for these 2 teams. And then probably like a Ying and a Ram.
Yeah, Mirror a bit of a question mark, right? Got that recent rework able to be dealt with by Ash and Callie. Definitely part of that multi-layered attack that you see on Gym Bedroom. Brought, if she's on the board, brought like 80-90% of the time to help deal with that. But yeah, bit of question mark though now, because we've got some reworks that just happened on some operators. Could be a little different on how we're seeing, Clubhouse, especially being played, right? Mirror being essential for that Gym Bedroom hold and utilized almost every single time on that Church and Arsenal hold. Imagine a world where Mira can't be utilized on Church Arsenal. I'm here for that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, Mira's so good on this map. It's one of those operators that's just like unbelievably powerful. She just gives like infinite information on every site she's useful. She gives sort of infinite power to the defender to be able to hold a position, and that's something that you don't really get from a lot of operators. And with Mira sort of being able to, like, Mira has default setups on 2 of the 4 sites, and on the other 2 can be utilized for gimmick strats, and it's like that's That's too many, to be completely real with you. And then you've got operators like Castle as well that are being brought more into the mix now. You're seeing a lot more lounge holds with Castle, especially when holding that CC cache site. Alongside that, you bring Castle as a default operator for bar. And then sometimes people are actually starting to utilize him a little more on basement and things like that as well. So more than likely, we could see a Castle be brought on more than just one of the sites now, and Castle's like slowly making his way up there as being one of the more useful operators in the game.
Which is crazy because his win delta is so off, right? He's an operator that we see used everywhere. He's great for slowing him down. He's great for dictating the pace of how the round is going to go. Yet, if you pick him, you have a 2% chance, more likely chance to lose your round by bringing the Castle. His win delta is just skewed in the wrong direction, which is crazy because we see him utilized all the time.
Well, I mean, I think it just comes down to like just the fact that Castle, his gadgetry is just so good for doing what he needs to do. And it's like you can't really change the way he's played. And it's like when for example Sledge was picked 90% of the time, and some teams still do, but when Sledge was picked 90% of the time, Castle was less influential. And obviously you've had the rework with Kali, with Ashe, to allow them to break mirror windows. You've also got Sledge. Pretty much any explosive utility is just a problem for Castle. And like Zofia is another one that's really useful. But the main one's Kali. Kali has 4 of those lances that she can use for, breach. She can use them for destroying utilities. She can now use them for destroying mirror windows, and she can destroy up to 4 castle barricades. And there's only 4 on the board. So it's like you've got that position where you have so many operators that are so good at just countering what you do, and you've kind of just can't change that. So
let me ask you
you have to play around it.
Are you predicting the rise of the Kali? Is the Kali going to be making a comeback into the comp scene?
I feel like Kali has a lot higher potential than Thatcher. It's just not worth because of the gun.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I could consider it not being worth it. But I mean, like, realistically, if you're comfortable enough with the SPS MG, just send it. Because I realistically, I think Kali is like probably one of the better operators in the game. Just utility-wise, because of how flexible she is now. So I think, like, when it comes down to it, you really just have to consider the fact that her gadgetry is so useful. And, well, just see what happens, I guess.
There it is. Pro tip, folks. We're going to just see what happens. All right. Well, we're waiting for one more to get back into the lobby, and then we're going to get this game started for you. So sit back, relax, because when we come back, we're sieging the day. Ayo. What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It's here. It's ready. We are going in. It's a best of 3 banger that promises to bring the barn burner mentality. It's Naj, it's Whiskey Glitter, and we're taking it to Clubhouse, my friends.
We're here. We're back. We were only gone for like 2 minutes, and we weren't like raving about people sending quarries in the match chat. That's not something that we were at all angry about or confused about, I guess.
All right, Naj, this is it. Map number 1 here in this best of 3, and we're going to Clubhouse. Let's get into the bans. I mean, we talked about it, right? Standard bans here: Ying, Dokkaebi, Solus, Fenrir, potentially the Azami instead of Solus. Are we going to see the off pick on the? Yeah, there we are. This is there. We're going to see the off pick on the attack side of it, and Monty going to be the first to go.
Yeah, Monty normally goes on this map. It's one that you usually lose pretty quick. For the simple reason that he's just so good at pushing rafters. He's so good at pushing blue/oil pit. He's so good at pushing through that breach corridor on the jacuzzi breach. He's so good at taking logistics. It's just a very good operator on this map. And then you see the Hibana go out as well, which is a bit more of a wild card pick because realistically, one that you would want to take out instead is well, probably just anyone else. But Hibana works because of the amount of hatches. You've got Fenrir. So, like, Ram and Hibana usually tend to be, like, the two that fight over contention. Then you've got your Fenrir. Fenrir, we said, was going to go out, like, ages ago. The next one's probably Solace, let's be completely honest. But it could be Azami or Mirror. But it's probably Solace. It's Solace.
It's Solace.
Right.
So yeah, bit of a split here, right? In NA, almost religiously, your attack bans are going to be Ying and Dokkaebi always. So it's fun to see a bit of the off picks here. Monty, you said it, huge for pushing up into that warehouse area. The dirt push from Monty, we've seen executed extremely effectively. So seeing him taken off the board, not wholly unsurprising. The Hibana, yeah, bit of a stranger pick. There's plenty of operators that you can get those hatches open with. Now, Pengu does say you don't want to funnel through a stairway or a door. You got to get that verticality open.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Unless you're bringing, 30 impacts, Hibana not even necessary.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those where, depending on what the team is bringing, will depend on realistically what you need. But like, I really like what the attacking side are going for here because obviously we're going to be going down into that basement, and they're probably aware, which is why they've got the fuse, and more than likely they're going to be using the can openers on the Buck. And the can openers on the Buck and probably on the Ying as well, now they've switched over to that, are going to be what's going to get these hatches open. And you might think, oh, impact tricking, that sort of thing. There's 4 impacts on the defensive side, like, they might be able to impact trick that kitchen hatch. That's where the fuse comes in, right? Like, the fuse just disrupts player positioning enough for them to be able to get that high breach charge off. And that's the magic of Siege.
Yeah, agreed. This is definitely a team lineup, right? You send the Ying, you send the fuse to back it up. So blind them, blast them, and then open up with the can openers of Buck. Here's the pick that I like, however. It's the Jackal, right? And on a map like Clubhouse, does a really great job at being able to just take a peek inside of the room to see if anybody's even been there. So not having to dedicate a lot of resources to getting that full 2F clear before we start getting some of that first floor information.
Yeah, and now we've got the Clutch drones going into the church corridor. Gets caught out by the Wamai though, which is actually quite interesting because obviously the attackers are going to want to use those Clutch drones to try and get as much enemy gadgetry as possible. And with things like the Wamai, the Aruni, just kind of like on-side in general, you're going to be wanting to try and steal from them and also steal the default cams.
Yeah, plenty of util to be taken here, and they do already have that moto hatch open. Being going to start taking a look, and it's going to be a focus here.
Attackers located a bomb.
And there we go. This is exactly what we talked about. Ying the hell out of them, send in the fuse, and then get that cannon opener or to open up the hatch. There's going to be no impact tricking here on the side of the defense.
We could genuinely see like a kill with a fuse charge here, but Jackal just drops down the hatch. Maxi's able to find 2 for himself, but gets cleaned up in the end. Yannick gonna be the man on the receiving end of that in order to be able to clean him up and see if he can get himself in a much better position to try and take on an engagement. But Juts is gonna find a multi inside of blue. We're gonna be seeing Matty just over here hovering around, seeing what he can do, but there isn't really a lot going on. Pistol guy going to be already in the site, going down the church corridor. Bessie managed to find one for himself, but the frags go blue, and that's going to be the round for, well, the side of the attack. They've managed to get themselves the first round. They're really starting to set their feet into this matchup, and what a pick, to be honest, from Flawless 7. Like, being able to bring on the Ying and the Fuse, like, and really utilize the vertical pressure that they can both apply together, alongside just in general having that AK with a 2x and having the good gunning, and yeah, it's just phenomenally played by the side of F7.
Yeah, off the back of 2 doubles, right? You've got the early entry where Maxi takes out 2. Then that one pistol guy drops down the hatch and finds himself a double, and then it was just easy cleanup at that part. Church and Arsenal heads over to the attack team. So we're going to take a look at what the defense is bringing. The gym bedroom workout. And, you know, all the operators that we talked about, we're not going to see any of them. Well, I mean, I guess we're going to see the Azami. But no Castle, no Mira. A bit of a nod towards tradition instead of that contemporary style siege, as we see Malusi on the board be supported by the Valkyrie and that intel. In fact, multiple intels. So we see Pat bringing out the Echo. So bit of an off pick here for operators, I think. Or at least for what I normally see, be that extension into cash. I'm curious to see how they're going to hold it. Where is the zombie going to dig in at?
See, I mean, you started looking at the operators. My brain immediately went, one off a female roster. So, you know, that's where my monkey brain's at right now.
Let's go.
I was like, 4 women. But right now, it's as you said, a relatively similar lineup for the side of F7, and they're going to be playing around that sort of like buff probably for most of the game, alongside sort of Maxi on the Ace, Pistol Guy on the Ying. Like, they're probably going to be like staple operators they really try and bring. Whereas Brava, I thought was going to be a bit more of a gimmick. And instead, oh my god, has decided not to be, and Buck has just ran underneath and nearly killed Echo immediately inside of Cash. But instead, loses his life. I don't even know what to say here. That's insane. Yeah. He nearly gets a kill and then just gets absolutely removed.
Yeah, but he does get the trade out as the Echo does get taken off the board. Now puts us into a 4-4, just under a minute. Still got this full extension that they have to deal with here. Yannick holding holding that crazy cross angle. It's going to be Dex behind Macy. His body bounce is going to tip in favor of the defense here. Dex watching that hatch, waiting for that drop. It's the double cross, waiting for the jump in here from the highway window. Here it comes.
Changing mag.
Indeed, we've got a little bit of tussle going on inside of the construction area. We do have a Brava and a Frost sort of like kissing right now on either side of that wall, but it's going to be the Ying that's going to be at the first point of contention for the attacking side. Throwing in the Candela to logistics and seeing if he can make his way further through into the fray, but isn't going to actually be able to find anything for himself. Multi is going to be the one, well, Hassi, I guess, is going to be the one to actually find himself a double inside of the site. Now, a 1 versus 2 situation for Pistol Guy. Yes, he's on the Ying, and yes, he has such incredible gun skill to be able to do so much work, but isn't able to see through the one-way angle, and it's going to be Valkyrie of Kanji to actually be able to, you know, just sack him off. And we're going to be seeing another round equalized.
Yeah, it takes us to the 1-1 here right at the gate. As they get a bit of a split here, I'm going to take it back down to Church and Arsenal. Oh, 1 second.
Either way,
jeez.
Attackers need to locate and
we are
defuse as many
seeing,
bombs as they can.
again, a similar lineup for the side of F7. They're going to be bringing along the Jackal once again, but they've got the Ying, and they've also got the Buck. And they're 2 operators that I feel like are going to be pretty much just a staple of this roster. I still don't believe the Brava's going to stick. I believe the Brava probably going to be used for a couple rounds, but I don't think is going to be one that stays all the way through and Yeah, I could be dead wrong, but I don't think that
10 seconds
that's
left.
going to be the case, because realistically, what does Bravo really have to offer
5 seconds
in
to
a
go.
matchup like this?
Outside of, there isn't much utility for her to take, but
Attackers'
do
objective
bring
is to
that
locate
power
a
to the
bomb and
board,
defuse
do
it.
bring that 3 speed, so if you're wanting something that's quick, if you're wanting something that can get in and get some rapid damage done, Bravo's definitely a tool to be used in that arsenal. But
thing
on
is-
the... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, the thing is, Bravo spends so much time on her cams that it's like you kind of need that 3-speed to stay at the same pace.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, absolutely agreed. And sometimes we see her utilized not for that gadget work, right? If that's just the default that can be taken, we definitely see the Bravo just getting in and being active instead. Here's what I like. We're seeing that 2-floor hold start to commence as Buck going to get in and start putting some work in up top, trying to get that that double floor look that we've been seeing so often. It's going to be a Rooney inside of Dirk.
Attackers' bomb diffuser has been dropped. Bomb
He's
located
very
by
confident
attackers.
to be able to get himself in onto the top floor very, very early and just, well, sprint all the way through before trying to take on those vertical angles. We are going to be seeing Fuse just open up some of these hatches and see what he can do for himself, but realistically, all that's going to accomplish is a bit of pressure applied to these defenders. More than likely, we're going to be seeing once again the similar sort of strategy with this huge charge inside of the long church corridor, and then the rest just kind of like trying to deal as much damage as possible, get rid of a few of these tubers, get rid of any other sort of defender gadgetry that is going to be sort of hindering the potential of them getting the plant done.
Yeah, I love the fuse pick here, especially when a zombie's on the board. You talk about it. She is devastating. And if she's left alive more than half the round, she's using all of her heat barriers. Boy, the fuse, though, you get it in the right spot, and you're taking down her whole setup in one go. Not somebody I see played too often, but I'm here for it. Oh, hey, and the prize, it is going to be the pistol guy taking Jets off the board.
Attackers recover
That gives
the
body
diffuser.
bounce in favor of the attacking team yet again, and that's the long range. That's the DMR off the board there, and a bit of a question mark on the side of the Aruni. So it pushed up pretty far to take that double gunfight.
I feel like it was more of a question mark for Pistol Guy there, because Pistol Guy just like... I mean, that was the most questionable Candela I've seen in a long time. Like, it just barely worked. Impact Grenade goes out and manages to find a kill from Dex onto Pistol, and we're going to be seeing a bit more of a scramble from these attackers, I think, in this round. We do see one drop the hatch, manages to get a kill for himself, but also loses out. In the meantime, we're going to be seeing Buck Marty, the last man standing, finds one behind the shield, isn't able to find the Wamai as the Wamai just backs off and plays a little bit safe in order to keep himself in a position to take the engagement.
Yeah, so that's 2 in favor of the defense now as they've taken and the Church Arsenal side, which means to get to see a little bit of Tersh play. And Tersh 4 Clubhouse currently sits Cash and CCTV. You talked about a zombie being huge for that hold, and we're not even gonna see her.
Yeah, because more than likely they're gonna set the Doc and Wamai rafters, and Doc is just gonna sit there like juicing himself the entire round.
Attackers need to locate and
Because
defuse
that's like
as many
the other
bombs
way
as they
you
can.
play rafters. You just eat nades and then just juice yourself.
I'd love to see a Capital pick here and just flame that entire catwalk and see if we can survive it out. You see,
Well,
Doc
that's the thing
utilized
with
in the library.
you can survive Capital Fire with Doc Stems.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how powerful Doc can be, and I think more than likely, even if he doesn't end up playing there, a lot of what he's going to be doing is just juicing the guy that is going to be playing there, and that's what's kind of scary.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
I actually think their strategy's a bit more wild than this.
I think you're right. It's going to be the double check out tonight of the Jaeger and Wamai to hold this top catwalk area.
Deploying drone.
Where is the Doc at? Where did he end up
Clear
going
deployed.
to?
Swapping mags.
Because I thought
he's over in
honestly,
gym
I thought
right
you were
now.
going to be right. Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's in like gym rotates and just watching the bird's eye view and just seeing what he's doing. It's like the only player I'm interested in for this entire round.
Yeah, because basically default is we
bomb has
have
been
all
located.
of the other members sitting up top inside of sight, albeit short extension into that catwalk area. Really, it's going to be who takes first in here. Are they going to get this open with relative ease and start to push in? Only brought one of the hard breaches. All you need when you're bringing out that CCTV hold. It's not like how you split up when you're going to gym with a double hard breach. Maverick just making work on that wall.
Well, the doc's dead. Well then.
He said, well, the doc's dead, folks.
Yeah. The doctor's the first to die. That's not something you hear every day. But it's just a bit of a weird decision to have a doc who is, well, A, a 1 speed, B, so good the longer he's alive, and just play him so far offside. It's so confusing to me to have that sort of strategy.
It lets him isolate, right? Doc being that uber powerful
Yeah.
player. You get a drone on him, all you gotta do, we send isolate and send in the buddy system, and it's a Bob's your uncle, good night. Now they've got a ton of this 2F real estate as they take all of Lodging Master and Gym Bedroom over to their side, and they've got body balance sitting in their favor here with this last minute. Find the next pick and they're good.
I think the thing I'm more saying about Doc though right now is like you're not playing ranked. Like it's not like people are gonna be like, you know, shooting you in the chest. Like these players know how to hit your head, and if you're able to hit heads, everyone might as well have 1 HP. So it's like, look at this. Look how you see how quick 2 players just dropped there, and now the attackers are going to be getting themselves complete control of that cache site. They've got themselves all the way in. The pistol guy are going to be getting the plant down behind the bomb chassis. The Frost's going to be below, but as the last man standing, there's not really a lot you can do without a C4 in this situation. Obviously, she is just trying to spot out any of these attackers from the vertical angles that do already pre-exist in this situation. But Maxi are going to be the one to just, you know, drop himself down and, well, discover a Canadian woman inside of the stock room.
Yep, it was an easy peasy, both lemon and squeezy as the attack team ties up that
It's a bit of an unfortunate 1v1, isn't it? Buck and
really,
Frost.
Yeah, it was not great. It's tough. That's a tougher 1v1, especially with the verticality of Buck, who was able to transition so freaking quick. Take it back to Gym Bedroom.
I'm pretty sure were they not like the 2 combo operators
Attackers need to locate
that
and
were like
defuse
released
any
at the
bombs
same
they
time or
can.
whatever? Or not released at the same time, but like sort of like supposed to be like hand in hand, I guess. Because they're both Canadian, like they both. I don't know. I watch too much Siege Lore.
I love
I'm
it.
sat here
I want
like
some
making
more.
theories. Either way,
Yep.
unfortunate
Back in
1v1.
bedroom,
Canadian man finds Canadian woman inside of the stock room.
10 seconds left before
There's a
insertion.
headline.
Yeah.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Let's talk about it. 2 rounds before the half is over, right? Kind of
Now
putting us
locate
towards
a bomb
that
and defuse.
3-3 split.
How do we have 100 viewers sitting here listening to me spout this nonsense?
Hey, because you're the greatest that's ever done it, Mars. Did nobody tell you that? You're the greatest that's ever done it. We're here for it.
I don't even think about what I'm saying half the time, and somehow.
Oh, he's gonna feel bad about that one when he watches this back. Mulkey almost finds the quick early break. Instead, he's gonna find himself a Legion goo. On the defense, though, I really like this setup, right? We've got plenty of slowdown here. It's almost as if they were expecting that blitz to come firing on all cylinders. I just
I
talked
like
about
the angry
using
man
the
with a
split.
shield.
No, same. And after the rework that's potentially going to be coming, it's going to be even a bit more fun. As
Oh my god, he just misdrewned the Legion standing on a table.
No.
He spotted him eventually, but like I genuinely thought he misdrewned him for a second. That genuinely scared me so bad.
Holding on
Right.
to the stock is Legion. A bit of the cheese pig here as he's reworked, but definitely somebody to be utilized against this shield operator who made himself into cash, who's starting to get active right away. Pistol out, ready to do the damage. It's Legion the first to fall. Now we find body bounce tipped in favor of the attacking team yet again. Ooh.
I mean, realistically, the blitz here slightly countered, at least a little bit, by the fact that the Valk can sit below with the C4, but a bit preemptive, a bit premature, as I've been told once and twice before, but we're going to be seeing...
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
We're going to be seeing the blitz try and make his way out of the cash room to get over towards the logistics side in order to try and take a bit of an engagement against Dex. Dex going to be a bit isolated, a one-speed trying to run away from the man with a shield that has a bit of a, you know, a bit of a flashing habit, but instead an impact grenade going to be what meets him, and now we're just seeing a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, this is going to be Ying default. The trade's going to come out onto the Valkyrie, now taking us into a 4v3. You can hear it. It's that Blitz pistol getting active, trying to secure themselves up another kill, but it's going to be Flores to get taken off the ball. Austin finds himself. Matthew gone. Blitz gone, and now it's all on the shoulders of Thermite, making a quick push in, but he's got to deal with that Kiva barrier, and he's not going to be able to do so. It's Lucy to clean this one up.
It is. Dex managing to pull it out for his team there at least a little bit and find that final kill at the very end there in order to just, like, you know, just regain the mental for the team. Obviously, you went up 2 rounds, you lost a round, you're now 2-2, and you really just want to try and regain that lead. And I think as a very default half for the defense, they should come out of this with a 4-2 split. But we have seen them lose basement already, so it's very possible that we see it again.
As many bombs as they can.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're living in a world where Church Arsenal is a bit of a question mark here as far as sites go, and being taken 1-1 on both sides of it. No switch up that I can discern either. Right? We've got the area denial of smoke. We're still going to have that trench warfare of the Azami setting up over on the shield. What I find interesting is that we've completely sealed off Church Wall now 3 rounds in a row, effectively cutting off
10 seconds
any of that angles to hold on main stair except for the long.
5 seconds left.
Another bit of a question mark for me on that one.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
I think it's a very unique strategy from the side of F7. I think that's, like, the main thing that's really catching off guard, and, like, actually giving them such sort of good or powerful looking sort of attacks, I guess. They're just they have such unique lineups. Like, right now, currently, they are running a Brava with Claymores, which, I mean, the Brava pick just in general doesn't seem to make a grand amount of sense. The only person she really counters on the opposite team is going to be that Aruni. She's not going to be able to hack that many magnets, more than likely. Then you've got the Flores, who somehow nearly finds 2 kills at the same time as both Azami and Smoke run into Oil Pit for some reason. And yeah, we've got the Buck with the can openers, who's going to be the main one for opening hatches, alongside the Ying. The Fuse, I guarantee, is just going to be extra. Like, he's just going to go over here and open the 3rd hatch just because he can, for literally no other reason than the fact that he can. He's going to get that hatch open, and then just go over to kitchen and just start using his Fuse charges alongside Ying here. Because obviously you can see Ying just, you know, flashing the, what do you call it? She's just flashing out the Arsenal site and just seeing what she can do. She's not forcing the issue. She's not trying to be a problem. She's just making sure that the team is able to open up the angles that they need. And obviously we've got the Flores now for the Keeper Barricades, going to be seeing if he can get them taken down and absolutely do whatever he can to just deal with them. And if he really needs help doing that, you've got 4 fuse canisters.
So can you find the double, and he's gonna find one with it, Naj. Jeez. That's body balance tipped heavily in favor of the attack team now. So yeah, a bit of the off picks, but it's working out in their favor. It's gonna be that pistol guy taking the swing onto the Azami. This keep a barrier trench setup. It's gonna be only her left on the board. Does they're gonna just find it. It's a flawless round. Clean up on a triple.
Like that's crazy. They look so good at attacking the basement.
But
I really hope we see like as unique lineups on defense from them.
Yeah, I think 3 of those operators pretty standard, right? Flores necessary for taking out those Kivas, Buck necessary for taking out or lending to that vertical pressure. Ying, if she's on the board, you're gonna see her utilized. 4 Candelas is just absolutely devastating, especially used in succession. But the double, I think the 2 off picks is definitely
Attackers
kind
need
of
to locate and
well,
defuse
at least
as many
one of
bombs
them.
as
The
they can.
fuse was a good pick. I don't support the Bravo pick here for Church Arsenal, especially if we're not bringing any util that can be stolen. Then it's
the thing
just
is,
an unnecessary pick.
we switch sides and then it just becomes so unbelievably standard for both of these teams. There is no real like standout operator for either of these lineups right now. Like the most confusing operator that's being brought along is Grim.
10
And
seconds
Grim
to
is
go.
just a very good operator right now.
5 seconds
So it's
left
like
before insertion.
I love the Grim pick.
we're just
Almost doesn't matter when they bring them. Sorry.
Attackers must locate
no.
and defuse the bomb.
We're just literally sat here looking at like 2 of the most standard lineups of all time. This is literally just chess. This is just 4D chess. This round, I guarantee you 100% comes down to who's in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and if those Goyo canisters are going to stop them. Now,
Are the attackers able to open the hatches? If they're able to open the hatches, are they able to get onto site or isolate a pick? If they're not able to do either of those things, the attackers lose.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else that happens in this round because of how standard the lineups are.
I do love that we brought the Kate along to do a little bit of tricking on that Moto hatch. I like seeing the kitchen hatch tricked a little bit more. I was just talking about this Mira setup just the other day and how incredibly odd it is, right? Generally, in the NA, we see the church wall reinforced on 2 on the right side, with the Mira in the middle, able to watch a little bit of Logi and that main stair. You put yourself in a really precarious position putting that Mira on the far right side of the church wall, as all it is a quick Logi hatch drop and you are toasted.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So a bit of a strange one. I like the Mira. I don't like the way that it's utilized here for sure.
It's just very confusing to see just how slow the attackers are moving right now. Obviously, they're bringing along this sort of Ash and Buck, 2 operators that can be deemed to just end up getting very aggressive, and then obviously with the Grim on side as well, you've got this information that you are able to just pull out the bag if you need to. And I mean, just with the amount of drones that you still have remaining, like all of the drones except 1, now except 2, you've lost 2 drones in 2 minutes. Like, really? I just believe that means you haven't droned enough. I don't even think that's an issue of like, oh, you're just really good at getting your drones into good positions. I don't think it is. I think they just haven't droned enough.
Tons of intel being fed by those bees as he floods them into sight, and that's going to be the first kill. And it just falls apart! Or this defense laps onto sight. Jeez, the trades back and forth, Naj. It's now all sitting on the shoulders of the pistol guy with that long-range shotty, jiggle peeking back and forth, but it's not going to be enough. This pistol guy gets his dope piece.
It's exactly as I said. It doesn't matter what happens. If the attackers are either able to isolate 1 single pick or get themselves on site, they win the round. And they did both. So, when it comes down to like these standard lineups, you pretty much just know exactly what's going to come out of both sides. And when you know what's going to come out of both sides, you can kind of just read into it. And again, we're going to be seeing like a very standard lineup.
Attackers need to locate and
but this
defuse as
time
many bombs as they
for a different reason. It's a little altered. They're replacing the mirror with the Valkyrie in order to play that information vertically, and they've got the 2 C4s, they've got the 6 impacts, they're going to be playing around the impact trick, they're going to be just playing to deny as long as possible. And I mean, they don't need to do that, but they're going to. And I think this is where we kind of look at it and we go, yes or no. Because I think
10 seconds.
the only way the defenders really like pull this out against eWAVE
5
here,
seconds remaining.
I think the only way Flawless 7 will pull this out against eWAVE here is if
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
one of the players goes absolutely nuts
Attackers have
for
dropped the bomb to
literally
the
no
diffuser.
reason
Attackers will
whatsoever,
cover the diffuser.
or the Valkyrie's cameras are just able to get them like at least one free pick with C4s.
I do like it here, right? What we're currently watching is a struggle, a battle between contemporary and traditional siege. Traditional being on the side of the defense here, but that's the problem, right? It's adapt or die, and they proved that on the last one. Intel was the reigning king. Sussed out everybody's location, and then all at once dropped on the site, and it was bada boom, bada bing, over. Good night. And they've got themselves set up to do that exact thing again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Contemporary Siege wins out in the traditional battle for sure.
Yeah.
Drone active.
Well, either way, it's we're now in a position where the attackers have done nothing. They've taken top red in the last minute and 15 seconds. That's insane.
Well, it is
Obviously,
Go ahead.
Karen.
I was going to say it's fun because the defense really did a great job of stalling them out on the last one. Ooh, C4 to make that first kill on the decks. But they did a great job of stalling out this attack team last time. But it was really just the attack team getting everybody in place to collapse upon the site all at the same time. And I think as you can see how spread out here we are, that they're effectively getting themselves set up to do that exact thing again, right? It's a 3, 2, 1 collapse on the site, and then people start to die. It's going to be mad.
Well, the thing we have to take in now is the attackers are down a player. They're not able to really apply that vertical pressure that they want to because of the fact that the Buck's dead. And they're also not able to be everywhere at once in the same way that they were in the last round. So you've got to look at the fact that they've managed to isolate that free pick with a C4, as I said they needed to. And we're now looking at an Ash that's 1 HP, realistically, steps 1 foot out of turn and dies. And, well, defenders that can just be, really, really ratty. So, I mean, you've got that player that's just fallen, Don, going to be the one to go down.
remaining.
And, well, with Hassie hiding behind that keeper barricade inside of blue, it's very easy to find a 1 HP Ash, and after those quick engagements that we've just seen, it's pretty easy to find the last man at the bottom of main stairs as well. So it's another one of those situations where we just kind of see very sort of standard siege, as I said before, and it's kind of going the same way again, where when we were seeing these sort of really unique new lineups on the side of F7, when they were on their attacking half, it was going really well. And they were able to do quite a lot because the fact that they were able to just, add that bit of spice to what the defenders had to deal with. And it was so difficult for them to actually do that. Whereas on the opposite side, we're now just playing bog standard siege. We're playing what everybody's used to. what everybody studied. The core of Siege is what we're looking at now. And the best way to play against a team that's playing very core Siege is by playing very core Siege. You don't want to throw a wrench in. You don't want to throw a spanner into the mix, a wrench into the machine. You just want to play, and you play their game, you play their way, and you play it better than them. That's literally how like standard Siege is played.
bombs from being defused by attackers.
Agreed. So looking to be 4-4 on the scoreline split here, and it was an eWAVE timeout. And folks, you see it utilized just like you see it in any other sport, right? You can use it to talk about what you've got going on, use it to talk about what the enemy's going on, but you're hoping for a little bit of that momentum stopper. And traditionally, I think I'm sitting at the last statistic that we've seen. Like, generally on the matches that I've casted, 85% of the time, the team that took the timeout comes out with the round win on the other side.
10 seconds to insertion.
So we'll see if that is going to be the same place here, if eWAVE is going to be able to capitalize on that bit of a break. I like the defensive setup here, right? You talked about standard. Well, this is about as standard as it gets outside of having some real breach denial. Adding those layers in to try and thwart you from pushing in. Mira going to be on that bathroom, and I believe probably inside of Logi. Hold off that construction hold. As you saw, they did open up the bottom part of that breach, making sure that you have to repel to get that thing open. On the side of the attack, we're going to split it up. Fairly standard here for the attacking side. Thermite and Ace going to be utilized. So we're going to open up CCTV, open up construction, and get that hot tub wall open. Really start opening up sight lines and head holes so that they can get themselves in a position to get their plan going.
Well, speaking of position, we're looking at a bit of a scary one for the defender at the top of Red Stairs, as they haven't really got much to fall back on if a man was to swing through this breach at the moment. They're just kind of playing around the banister as if it were a shield. The Valkyrie below them is able to find a pick onto the man in garage, and that's going to open things up a little bit for the side of the defense. F7 gonna be in a lot more of a comfortable position, being able to take out that Ying, knowing that the operator that you've taken off the table is the Ying is a big part of the fight. One that I'm really annoyed that we're not seeing is Nomad, because we're playing Ash instead of Nomad for some reason when we're playing Highway, and I really don't like this.
Not like the Ash pick to deal with that mirror, but yeah, you're right. A bit in an off position here for what we usually see the Ash play. Yet no flank watch on the board here. You know who I'm missing, and he's banned out. That's why we're not seeing him. I love the Monty push here.
I mean, yeah, very true. Monty's just so stupidly good on this map, because it's a similar situation to Skyscraper, where like Monty gets banned for the simple reason that Monty can just walk down hallways.
See Thermite pay the price. Thermite Thatcher potentially. Yep. Thatcher going to be the first to fall off the back of that intel. And that wonderfully placed Mira, of course. And there we go. Wamai going to stop those Ash charges from coming in, or at least the first one to come in and destroy that Mira. And one more, and they've got this position secured. One more Wamai disc, and they're holding it. That body bounce tipped in favor of the defense here, as they've got 18 seconds to play it out for the last two. They've all but sealed it up for their round.
This is so good for F7.
10 seconds remaining.
F7 player, they're just playing this so well.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't, like, as I said, we went from them being on the attacking side, the side where they have to force the issue. They've clearly looked at eWAVE and gone, you play this way, and we know you play this way, so we're going to play this way against you. And that's what's so good about what's going on the side of F7 right now. On the side of F7, they were on attack, the side where they get to force the issue. And when they're on the side where they get to force the issue, they were able to, bring along these funny lineups, bringing along that Brava, bringing along that Ying, bringing along that Fuse, things like that, in order to just really blow things out of proportion and just like really change the pace of the game. And now we're looking at them go onto the defense, and they know for a fact that eWAVE aren't going to be greatly comfortable bringing along these random operators that are going to like be big counters. Obviously, we're seeing the Brava this time around, but what's Brava going to do?
10 seconds left.
Brava's going to hack some default cams and maybe try and get an echo. Like, there's
5
nothing
seconds
else
left.
for her to hack. She can hack the magnets, but realistically, if she's hacking magnets, she's probably going to get a drone shot. It's unbelievable that we're sitting here and we're watching eWAVE get made to look this bad.
Here's what I'm excited about. We
Bomb
talked
located by
about the
attackers.
stack being done after it's over, so potentially we see a couple of off picks here. It's bar stage, folks. You see it utilized and played the exact same way that you'd see a gym bedroom, traditional gym bedroom setup outside of the Echo being kind of the cheese pick here. But Castle going to be utilized to really slow him down. And I think you said it. Word of the day, it's pace. and F7 just doing a far better job of setting that pace and setting that tone against both the attack and the defense, right? Tougher to do it on the attack side of it, but they managed to do so, taking that 3-3 split. This is feeling pretty good for them if they can get this first pick.
I mean, it definitely will be, but the issue is actually, finding anything, because look at how much of a sort of turtle defense that this is from F7. F7 are just, they've got positions, they're sitting in them, and that's all they're going to do the entire round. The mirror takes the swing onto the jacuzzi wall, finds a pick. I mean, realistically, the defense have found 2 in trade for 1. And you're now looking at, you've lost your Thatcher, right? You've lost your Ying, and all you've got out of it is a mirror. Like, Thatcher still had 2 nades. Ying still had, what, 4 Candelas still?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think she used any of them.
Ying still had 4 Candelas and 2 hard breach charges, probably. And now she's dead. Mirror hasn't used her C4, I'll tell you that much, but has placed down both of her windows. So, yeah, you're down a vector, but realistically, who cares?
Yeah, especially with 48 seconds left.
You're looking at such a worthwhile trade for these defenders, and they've still got the echoes, like the echo drones, as far as I'm aware.
It's still a drone in pocket.
And yeah, there's still a clutch drone in pocket. Like the clutch drone, yeah, we've still got the echo cams because Echo's now on them. And it's like we're just seeing eWAVE just struggle so much.
15 seconds left.
They're now going to take a push down this long corridor. They try and take the swing. Castle's the first man to find the kill, and well, he finds a second very, very quickly. And we're going to be doing a bit more of an engagement. Wamai of Hassi on the top floor finds the final man on highway, and once again, we're looking at such a crazy F7 in comparison to the way eWAVE are playing.
Yeah, it just looks like the difference between having seen some VOD and not. It seems like we're watching the difference between, like I said earlier, that contemporary and traditional siege play here. And yeah, it's not that eWAVE is going out or it's not that F7 is going out and necessarily winning the round every single time.
Attackers need to locate and
eWAVE
defuse
is
as many bombs
effectively
as they
going
can.
out and losing it. Rule number 17, folks: don't die with util in your pocket. And we saw 3 deaths that ended in that same way. We got to see eWAVE pull themselves a bit together here because they got to be perfect for 2 now on this match point scenario. Perfect for 2, and we're going back down to church. I mean, this might be a tough call for eWAVE.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to the OPL page for this match right now. This is Flawless 7's
10
map
seconds
pick.
remaining.
But the worst thing is about it being their map pick
5 seconds
is you
left.
can tell. Like, as much as,
Attack
yes,
objective
it's
is to locate a
6-4 right
bomb
now,
and defuse it.
like, eWAVE are only 2 rounds behind. They've just been dogged for, like, most of this half. It was fairly even. It was 3-3, in fact, in the first half. And since they've moved on to the second half and you've got
Attackers recovered the bomb
the side of
diffuser.
F7 on this defense, like, they've just been trying to drag their balls through broken glass. And that's like what we're staring at right now.
That's a tough image right there, bro.
Yeah. That's what eWAVE are facing right now. That's what's going on with eWAVE. I see those laughing faces in chat.
Oh man. So we've got here's what I do like, right? A little bit of that mid-match adaptation here by eWAVE, not to go with the traditional buck or sledge to open up. It's going to be the new operator, or the newer operator, Ram, who can kind of basically open up that floor without putting themselves into danger. 2 operators designed to do that, as Grim also can use this gadget without throwing himself into danger now as well. So, I mean, as far as some adaptation here, I like what eWAVE brought to the table. We need to see that early entry pick, though, for this to have any chance at not being a 7-4.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, realistically, I don't see this game not being a 7-4. Like, obviously, eWAVE, as I say that, find the first opening kill, and that could be very, very big for them, especially considering the first operator they find is a man that uses active utility. It's an operator that needs to be alive in order to keep gaining that utility. It's not like a Goyo where they can just die and, well, everything's still there. But it's also one of those that's not exactly the worst thing in the world to lose. But speaking of Goyo and losing his life, there it is. He ends up dying on the Adam stairs anyway, for the simple reason that he just could not hit a drone. That was almost comedic. But now we're going to be seeing the other TCSG hovering around inside of Arsenal, and, well, an MPX hovering around on Generator. So we're going to have to wait and see if either of those 2 players are actually able to find anything for themselves to, you know, open this up for their team. Maybe even try and get this 2v4 clutch, but it is going to be the case that is getting quite aggressive inside of blue. Yannick finds a beautiful little cleanup shot onto him, and the breaches and the angles on Moto and also Mainstairs are going to be very easily dealing with the players of Flawless 7, and we're going to be moving on to at least round 12.
There we go. Still on a match point scenario. We said they had to be perfect for 2, and they found 1. Here's the question: where do we go? Where does the defense go? Back up to Gym Bedroom. Have we seen F7 take a CCTV cache hold at all? No, I don't think so. Right? Gym Bedroom, Church Arsenal, and then the bar stage area just refusing to play that cache CCTV hold. And if they win this round,
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Reload.
A little bit bigger on the site depth.
Well, the refusal to play the the refusal to play the argued worst site in the game is completely expected and completely natural. So at the moment we're just looking at
10 seconds left before
like
decision.
probably the
5 seconds left.
most questionable
Attackers are moving out to
sort
locate
of
a
game
bomb
of
and
Siege
defuse it.
at the
Attackers
moment.
drop the bomb diffuser.
There's so much going on, and it's so sort of flip-floppy that every time I say something, I'm either like bang on or dead wrong.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
So at the moment, we just have a quick little run through. We have a Thatcher, we have a Flores, we have the Ash, we have the Thermite, and we have the Ace on the side of the attack. Now, more than likely, the Thermite's going to go over towards this CC side. They're going to try and get this CC wall open and, you know, start making their way through that direction. But he's going to jump up onto the roof and maybe make his way over to construction, maybe make his way over to Jacuzzi. It depends on what Ace is going to try and open for himself. Ace, more than likely, is going to go for that Jacuzzi wall. and just get that open relatively early. Maybe try and open up the wall onto the bathroom and, you know, create a bit of a problem for Mirror. But as I say this, we do see Hassie getting very aggressive inside of this. CC almost finds a beautiful little kill onto the ace on the rafters. Oh my goodness. That would have been incredible.
That would have been the shot, absolutely. Not able to find it, however, as Jones is taken down to his half health. Oh, yow! There we go. Dex ripped off the board. And that is a huge pick. Not going to be able to deal with that Mira now outside of using your Selma charges, and its body balance tipped in favor of F7 here. It's a match point scenario, Naj. All they have to do is trade out game, and this is just map number 1 going to be sitting in their favor.
Indeed they do. The desperation hitting the wire for the side of eWAVE. They're going to really be wanting to, you know, force the issue here, find anything they can in order to be able to secure themselves around. And, well, they've kind of stagnated at the moment. There's a bit of a stalemate ongoing with the players over towards the bedroom side and the players inside of comms. Mirror still going to be hovering around on those cameras just to give whatever information possible to the roster at hand. And, well, the flashbang goes out, but so does a C4, so does a player. The triple kill for Maxi is going to be perfect. He's found 3 for the round, and we're watching a 4 versus 2. Pat and Yannick, the last men standing, and, well, as I say that, Yannick going to be the man in the middle, I guess, as
the
well.
Man in the middle.
That's the end of the round.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's
end
of the round, end of the map. It was a match point scenario, and the defense got that early pick, which is exactly what you said the win condition was. And we're able to, of course, rely on the buddy system and the trade-out game to find themselves on the back of map number 1. 3 players on the side of F7 that hit into that double-digit kill area. Be the difference in the scoreline there. They just killed better.
They did just kill better. And, well, the thing is about killing better is F7 did it.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be moving on to Chalet. And the thing about Chalet, obviously we're not going to be moving on to Chalet straight away. I think we're going to have a break between the maps. But the thing I want to quickly touch on is the fact that Chalet is shared by both of these teams as one of their favorite maps. So this is the map that really has the potential to shine for both of these rosters. And, well, we'll see when it starts.
That's right.
Hello and welcome back to ESA Cup Season 7. We're moving on to Map 2. It's going to be Chalet. We're already in the operator bands. Let's take a look at eWAVE versus F7.
That's right, baby. I am still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter. He is still Naj, and we are still bringing the heat for map number 2. It's Chalet, the great equalizer. And look at that. Ying off the board. Bit of a target ban there, right? We saw her utilized on every single round, I think, just about.
We also still have the same starting sides.
Oh.
With F7 starting on attack and eWAVE starting on defense. So we're going to be seeing relatively similar sort of pacing to this map. And realistically, the only way we see a difference is if eWAVE win this map and we go to a map 3 and it'll be F7 starting on the defense. So at the moment, we'll carry on in this sort of one-track mind of watching Chalet, and we're going to be seeing the Azami get banned out. One that's very good for, you know, holding on to that library area, also holding on to piano, and also just in general, one of the more powerful operators in the game. I mean, I've said it before, just because of the way the mechanics work on PC compared to console. Solis is a little more powerful on console than what Azami is, and Azami is more powerful on PC than what Solis is, but either way, they're both a bit kind of mental. And Azami is one of those operators that very much has the sort of like utility to be able to just transform like the worst possible position into like a fortress. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you really don't want that. So well, with Azami now being taken off the board, well, I mean, you saw it literally on Clubhouse. Like I don't know who it was, but they were playing Azami in that like black box corner on basement,
So
and
here's my question.
it's like the worst possible position. But it worked.
Why the Monty ban? Why the Monty ban on Chalet?
Corridors.
Is it that prevalent here in the EU that Monty needs to be banned out? I mean, that is absolutely insane.
Monty is probably one of the highest impact potential operators in the game.
10 seconds left.
It just depends how he's played, because it's like
5 seconds left.
on this site in particular, if you can get the Monty in top floor, right?
Attackers must locate.
It doesn't matter where on top floor you get this Monty in. The defender that's going to be playing top floor is probably going to be based around that bedroom side. If you can push out those players to the Solarium stairs, you can just walk the Monty at them and then have the mirror window control and just see sight. So
Interesting.
it's one of those operators
Grabbing intel.
that's a bit like concerning to have to sit and play against.
Yeah, concerning for sure, but ban-worthy, I disagree completely. There's so many more operators that can be taken off the board for Chalet outside of the Monty, unless you've got somebody who is a Monty-specific.
Yeah, it's also very possible a target man.
Yeah. Blitz going to be the first to go down as the shots from... Closet finds him! The trade's just ringing out here as now body balance is tipped in favor of eWAVE here in this defense. They can get themselves back into sight. Iana the next to fall now into a 4v2 notch.
Well, it's exactly what we saw in the previous map. eWAVE having a pretty strong start to their defense. And, you know, not really being found out as of yet. But we're seeing on the side of F7, once again, like a pretty questionable lineup that
agreed.
is seeming to work at least a little bit. We have an Ash and a Yana, which are essentially literally the same role. Then you've got the Blitz, which is, again, the same role. And then you've got a hard support and a flex.
Yeah.
I'm swapping mags.
So you've got 3 entries, a support and a flex. And
He's going to nope his way out of there.
yeah, he's just dipping completely. But you're just kind of looking at this sort of questioning whether they're like completely serious. A very nice, beautiful kill from Bessie through the wall onto Pat eWAVE. As we now move on to the sort of remaining dregs of the round, the last 50 seconds with this 2 versus 2 now. As Pistol Guy finds one more for his troubles. Bessie going to be on the back stairs, or not on the back stairs, on the kitchen corridor, trying to find the way through onto the mirror window, but isn't able to find the kill onto the mirror themselves. And that is going to be the round. I think that was a 4K from Rizraz.
Now here's the big question mark, right? Has eWAVE adapted to the off picks here by F7? Because you are right that the attacking lineup that we just saw come out of F7 was 100% not the lineup that you normally see on a kitchen take, right? Normally, if you want to run this like a standard way, we see the Thermite and the OSA brought out. You open up that top mez wall, put your OSA shield there, hold your verticality. Then you open up the main wall, put your OSA shield, your Talon shield down on the bottom, get yourself set up for a plant, and have your Gridlock or your Nomad to watch that flank area. So, they did a bit of the off-pick, maybe a little bit more on the aggressive side of it with the Ashe, Iana, and the Blitz. Didn't work out in their favor this time, so they definitely got sussed out.
Yeah, this is like a bit more of a reasonable lineup from the side of F7, but as I say that, we switch off onto the Ram, and it's going to be the Sledge and the Ram, which is a bit of a questionable pairing, but still exists. And instead, we're going to be seeing the Maverick now. But on the opposite side, we have Thorn, Trap Operator, Pat, Trap Operator, on the Goya.
5 seconds left.
We have Legion, a trap operator.
Attackers must locate and defuse
And
the
then,
bomb.
well, we've got Walden Oil and a mirror. So, obviously, the gunners for the team are going to be Rizraz on the Thorn and also Don on the Legion.
Drone activated.
And then you're going to have the other two just kind of like, or the other three just kind of like existing and holding onto the site for themselves in order to be able to, you know, preserve a bit more sort of contention into the later round. But the Thorn going to be falling off from the library hold and making our way back up those blue stairs in order to still have some presence over on that side if need be, but just overall trying to keep herself safe.
Yeah, here's what I love, right? Doing a better job already at setting the pace. You talked about it being so important and vital. Well, we're extended all the way up to 2F on a basement hold. I think that's doing a great job at slowing down this defense. Already the first minute gone, no contest seen outside of this contest with Maverick. Oh my lord, Vector gonna ring out from Pat, take him off the board. That's gonna be body balance evened up as Matt finds it onto Riz as well. The Thorn now gone.
Oh my god. What a gunfight that was. Anyway. Ash is dead. And now we're going to be seeing some flashbangs sing into that supply corridor and just seeing if they can, you know, clean themselves up a mirror, and indeed they do. So now we're going to be in a bit more of a curious position. I keep yawning. I'm very sick, guys. I'm very, very not well. But
Appreciate you being here, Naj.
I can't stop yawning, and my voice is just dying. But we have a bandit, a Legion, and a Goya that are just kind of fighting for their lives on site right now, as they've got a very angry lady with a drone just tearing apart their ceiling.
Yeah, I love the ram pick here, and I love how effectively we're seeing it used. Right, opens up that whole floor, which really lends to that fish in a barrel scenario. It's going to be, oh man, Gridlocks finds the Legion, and that's going to be costing her life, as now we find ourselves into a 3v2, into a 2v2, as it gets equalized as Ace drops down.
Oh my god.
All onto the shoulders of Pistol, who finds himself trying to go for the plant, but gets caught up on the cross. Defense is going to take two. A little bit of a different
That
team
side
here.
sounds crazy. Yeah, I like that.
Not very often do I like a church a basement hold, because I think basement lends itself the same way the cache CCTV does. It's just about almost unplayable.
To respond,
so many attackers that can just open up everything.
To respond to Vasi in chat, eWAVE is the team with the most strats. I'm pretty sure on both sides I saw one strat from their entire team. And that one strat was just running the same operator lineup and doing generally the same take. I do think they're a very diverse team in the way they play and, you know, the strategies they use, but that last game was very much not a good showing of that. So you need to be a bit careful what arguments you're sparking in chat.
10 seconds left.
We are going to be looking at a very aggressive lineup on the side of eWAVE, and I think that's what they're kind of playing into right now. They're playing into that sort of like frag potential that they do have on their individuals, and obviously, I'm doing it again. With the people on the opposite side just kind of struggling at the moment, like the players of F7, especially in the last couple of rounds, just kind of struggling with being able to find the kills that they're really looking for. They're definitely going to be in a much better position as it goes on. But with them struggling right now, it definitely makes sense for them to play into that. And this is where things start to, you know, turn the tables and really start to change for the side of Flawless 7. They found two very early picks by isolating Rizraz and Don, and we're going to be seeing the piano window sort of player just throw those flashbangs in, throw those RCEs in, take out those deployable shields, and once they've taken out like all of the utility necessary in order to be able to get themselves in a position where they can just, you know, start blasting, I guess, they're going to be so much happier with what they're doing. But Dex comes out the front door and manages to find himself an early kill, which is pretty ideal for the side of eWAVE right now, especially considering how much they've been struggling in the remainder of this round. But now Pat has to try and get past an angle on the main door in order to, you know, actually get himself into a safe place inside the site. What a lineup here, as we now have the Mozzie. Mozzie, pretty sure, has to ace to win. Yeah. And, I mean, we've seen it before. Can we see it again? In comes the third potential kill, but it's going to be Matty on the other end, as he is just hidden behind the site. And, you know, manages to get himself that kill in order to win out the round and actually secure one for F7.
There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulty on my side. Ready to go again. Okay, look at that. F7 finds one on the tack. Only got to find one more to hit that quota that you really want on the side of the split. So half their work already done before they hit their defensive side.
Deploying mobile cover.
Attackers discovered the location of a bomb.
I mean, yeah, definitely so. They're going to want to try and find themselves a couple more than just the one. Preferably a 3-3, because that's, I'm pretty sure, default for Chalet. But realistically, 4-2's fine, like 2-4's fine. It doesn't really sort of hinder them too much, whether they're on the 4-2 or 2-4 scale. But they definitely want more than one.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, I think they're okay with one. To be honest with you, if they don't find a second, you still hit that one going into your clearly defensive sided map structure. But 2, of course, ideal. So let's take a look at this defense. It's going to be a little bit of slowdown city here. As we see both the Rooney and the Mira and the Frost on the board. Those are all operating inside to slow you down. Rooney already taking a bunch of damage.
No, you don't.
Survive to play again.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
I mean, this is something I really like from the Aruni right now. Like, these sort of, like, funny angles that no one really uses at the moment are, like, my favourite thing to just, like, pull out the bag randomly. I think they're very good for this given situation, where you see the Aruni just kind of being pressured from those Solarium windows and doesn't have to actually sit inside of Solarium. Can just sit on the stairs. And now we've got a Ram getting very, very aggressive, just completely storming her way in through that bathroom window and just getting over towards the Solarium side. There was a kill by someone else on F7 onto Rizraz. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Maxi loses out to Don on the Solarium stairs, and, well, we're going to be seeing, once again, another bit of curious aggression from the attacking side.
Yeah, trades get equalized here. It's still going to be a battle for the Solarium stairs here, as they're really not giving up any of that real estate. 4-4 we said is the last minute and 21 going to start to tick away, and it's going to be Buck underneath trying to apply that pressure from below. Let's see if they can find if they can get themselves that number, that body balance in their favor.
Rooney's playing an aim trainer with track stingers.
A little bit of aim lab paying off there. Gridlock goes down, however. Is going to be able to be picked back up, so we sit in the 4-all.
Oh, the angle's going to work.
Imagine.
Oh, please work. Please tell me the angle works.
Sit in bated breath. Are they going to push in? Are they going to lose their life to the devastation of the DMR?
Come on, Dekabi.
There we go. Now it's going to be Amaru getting up top and have to take the.
I got excited then.
Warden also to fall now, and oh my lord, just like that.
Goodness.
1, 2, 3. Good night.
What just happened? The defenders just kind of like couldn't hold themselves in positions. But it was crazy because it's like such a cool way for eWAVE to actually like structure themselves for a kitchen and dining site. And it obviously it's super unfortunate that it didn't end up working, but I think realistically, the moment the side of F7 were just able to like pick it apart and get themselves in a
Attackers
position
need to
where
locate
they
and defuse as many bombs
were
as they
able to
can.
just be annoying. That was where they really got the round win, and I think Maxi was probably one of the deciding factors, even though he's 1-3 right now. Like, I think the reason why I say I think he was one of the deciding factors is for the simple reason that he proved to his team that he was able to just throw a ram drone in through the bloody bathroom window and run himself in. And I think that allowed the confidence for the rest of F7 to just try and play the rest of that round quite quickly.
How did the arena die? Had the off angle on the window. I didn't even see it. How did she?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know. I was only watching the
Defuse a bomb.
first person povs. I wasn't looking at the top down.
I missed it. I bet it was amazing. However, it happened because the off angle was there. The kill was there.
Yeah.
Must have been the flank from the backside that caught him off guard. I like the defense here, Naj. Right, we've got a bunch of layers that you got to peel back. First,
We're just playing the exact same operator lineup that we played like 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, well, and it was effective, right? Oh,
eWAVE have the most strats as a team, according to Vasi. They're just playing the same one.
That's going to be the first kill. John gets taken off the board. Body balance tipped in favor of the attacking team here. That's a pretty big pick, right? As he's got that utility that you have to wait for it to come around. It's active. You have to be alive to be able to use it. And dive some util in the pocket potentially there.
I'm just gonna sit here and call out chat for like the rest of the cast.
That's it.
I'm just gonna start fights with the chat.
Reloading.
Oh Lord, here we go.
But either way, at the moment we're just looking at the exact same lineup. We're looking at the exact same strategy for the side of eWAVE. That they realistically are just, mind my language, throwing shit at a wall till it sticks. And it stuck last time, yes, but it only stuck last time because you were able to get 2 free picks from Mirror playing on the first floor, and because Mirror's been like completely isolated and pushed out of the first floor super early this time, you're left in a position now where you've just got no control of like any of the map other than the actual site itself. Rizraz does manage to find a kill onto Matty, which is ideal considering, you know, he's the only player that's actually up there on the second floor, but yeah, he soon loses his life to the Ash that's going to be hovering around. She tries to take a swing, but the off angle for the Goya is going to be the one that is there to find the kill. And, well, trade's just going either way now. We're just trading back and forth. That was almost beautiful from Matty as he took the swing onto the door and almost got free fire through the barricade, or through the bookshelf. And now we're just seeing nades, flashbangs, everything just fly out and be really annoying for this Goya. Oh my god!
No way.
What a shot! That was some sexy stuff.
And I tell you what, standard picks on the lineup. It's won it for them twice now as they sit up in the score count 3-2.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go. That's the word of the day, or phrase of the day there.
Yo, Eclipse is in chat.
Heyo.
Was there like someone actually know in chat?
And can we highlight it too? Thorn Trap for the kill. Hello.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy as well. That's not something you see every day.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
All right,
But
one
attackers
more
have located
round
the bomb.
on the half before we head to the back end.
Setting up.
Attacking team already done their job. They secured their quota of 2. They'll feel pretty good about it going into the defense. Anything outside of that 2 is just icing on the cake. So we hit the far stage. And finally, we can see the Solus out on the board. Solus is huge, right? Gadget, huge. Gun, huge. I'm surprised we haven't seen her utilized more often just yet, especially getting rid of that intel, which is...
10 seconds left before insertion.
Util meta currently.
But I think the thing with
5
Solace,
seconds to go.
especially as an operator, is if you play her well, you play her like really
Attackers are
well,
heading
and
out
she
to
can
defuse
like
a bomb.
really bring a lot of sort of like fruit to the playstyle that you want to try and go for. But the problem with Solace as well is if you play her badly,
Okay, ready.
you're just kind of a detriment to your team with a 50 round mag. So it's like, yes, you've still got a 50 round mag, but you're just kind of a waste of space. So it's like they're kind of your options.
Ash getting in there trying to get active and find that first entry pick. And didn't sound like they were getting sussed out either as they busted into that first floor area, that trophy area. And yeah, I think you're right. But the intel being so huge, I love the pick here. It's going to be Flores getting in, trying to get rid of that deployable shield that is that critical push point at the top of library stairs. First minute off the board, Naj, and we haven't seen any contest here, any combat as tag team really taking their time on sussing out where the heck these defenses
Other than the
are.
part when Ash nearly got wallbanged.
Nearly.
That's the only thing we've seen so far. But even then, it's not a lot. If she'd have got wallbanged, I'd have probably screamed. But we're now just watching an Ash just tear her way through barricades by hand. And just try and get our way across this second floor in order to actually start getting library control, in order to actually start applying pressure to the side. And now you've got this shield where you want to try and deal with as much as possible in order to get rid of it, and they haven't even got any like one more gadgets up there. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Like there is not a single magnet up there.
That's crazy, and use that deployable shield and that critical push point because of that. Now normally you see that frost trap being utilized here in red instead. We're going to see the frost who's going to lose their life. Now taking us into a 3v4. That P90 we were talking about got active and found one as well.
Attackers
now
have recovered their diffuser.
V3, and it's a low health on the side of Ash. Oh no, and a bit of a DC.
Nah, that's a rage quit, bro.
Been there.
Maxie's just throwing his console out the window.
Goodbye, sayonara. See you later. 28 seconds, Naj. We're going to see this final push in. We're going to see Flores getting active down these back stairs if they haven't sussed out. Oh, they did.
20-second matter.
Yeah.
Because we loved it the first time.
15
Now we're
seconds
just going to be seeing players just kind of filter and decide through doorways because realistically there's no other way to actually get there, and they don't really have any more openings than that. So they're just kind of taking engagements as and where they can. The attackers lose, and that's not really a shot.
Standard split here.
So, I mean, it's better than I probably expected for the side of eWAVE, especially with their performance in the last map in the second half. But we are just gonna quickly pause and shoot over to our lovely cameras, and potentially, depending on how long Maxi actually, I think it was Maxi, wasn't it? Yeah, depending on how long he takes to get back, will depend on whether we go to a break.
So bit of a standard split here for the defense. Here's going to be the deciding factor. We saw it get a little bit closer, kind of on the back end, right? We saw 7-5 on the last map. Let's see if the F7 has got what it takes to put this bad boy away, or if eWAVE going to make a run for it. They've only need a couple or two to get themselves to a match point scenario, but they now have to do it on attack, which I don't know. It's a bit of a question mark, as we talked about some of the op choices being a little bit maybe too standard, if you will. It's a good chance. I hope they take it, to be honest with you, right? I want the decider map. Even though we've seen Oregon played 150 times, I still like the decider, still want that third map, the 1v1 showdown to end it all.
I mean, realistically, I think it'd be very fun to see a very close match, but I do want to see all three, even though I will probably want to die by that point. But we'll definitely enjoy it nonetheless. So we are just going to cut to a break in order to just get our bearings and, rest ourselves a little bit in order to, not struggle with the rest of the cast.
That's right, folks.
So
It's a rehost.
will
Sit back, relax, because when
see
we
you
come
shortly.
back, we're going to have some more Siege coming your direction. Ayo.
Hello, welcome back to iCarly. This isn't iCarly, this is Siege.
Attackers need to
Hey,
locate
can
and
we mix
defuse
that up
bombs.
again?
I know, you'll see, somehow the world will change for me.
Attackers have
Be so
discovered
wondering. We're gonna get fucking banned.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get kicked off of ESA. That's what's gonna happen by the end of this. I'm just like not well enough to care too much. I really do not feel good, but honestly I'm at 3. I just punched a fork. Either way, that's not important. What's important is CNF7 versus eWAVE, and again, well, actually, to be fair, I was going to say again we're seeing a very standard lineup, but we're really not on either side right now. We've got a Solace, we've got a Maestro on the defensive side, which is like our big sort of wild cards, and then on the opposite side we've got that Capital, we've got the Dick Heavy, we've got the Brava. So we are seeing a bit of a mixture of operators, and the Brava's one that's particularly interesting, just particularly because we have the Maestro, just in general. So I think that Brava definitely has a lot of potential, and she's already hacked a Maestro cam. Like I don't know if you quite saw that just there, but yeah, she's already hacked one of the Maestro cams. So that's gonna be like very fun for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing. That's the reason that I want to see a Brava brought is to hack the
Attackers
Maestro
dropped the
cam
diffuser.
specifically. So yeah, let's go. Death by your own Maestro cam, death by your own
recovered
hack
the
cam.
diffuser.
Absolutely devastating. And Brava just making quick work of all of this utility.
Yeah, exactly. Like Brava's such a fun operator, especially when you've got like the right operators against you.
All this intel being fed by the Solus here. They've got the intel of exactly where they're sitting as they go on the cam. You're going to see this contest here as Frost taking on the engagement from the Rappel. Oh,
I mean, they're definitely very lucky that they actually have the Brava, and the Brava is being successful. For the simple reason that, well, they've got 4 drones left.
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
And that very well could have been 2 of them. Oh no, it was 1 of them. But yeah, they've got 3 drones left now. Just in total.
Go a little bit of smoke, a little bit of misdirection. Try and cause some chaos up here on that 2F. This start to make their way in. Capital the first falls. Body bounce tips in favor of F7 here. And feels pretty good if you're the defense, right? Getting that early aggressor off the boards. That was their entry. Equalized.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Us into. Oh no. Oh, that's a tough one. That's the Dokkaebi off the board. Gone. Sayonara. See you later. That's the DMR and the body
So
bounce.
gritty for you.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been denied of the gritty for the end of the round, and now have to face the music, as one might say, as we are seeing Legion just pick up a couple more kills on that defensive side. And, I mean, eWAVE are just looking to really struggle in this round, and I think if this is like an image of what we have to see for eWAVE's attacking half, they definitely could be in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure they got like the opening kill. Or no, they lost the opening kill and then got a trade back, and then it was a 4v4, and then from there they just got nothing. And they had a Maestro cam. That's wild.
That is wild. Now here is a fun interaction. If we see the Brava, now you do see the 6 pick,
Attackers
but
need to
the
locate and defuse
Fenrir,
as many
right?
bombs as they
Fenrir
can.
and the Thorn Traps, lots of utility to be utilized, taken advantage of. And Fenrir, when you're in that 20-second minute,
eliminated
you're
the bomb.
pushing into sight, you didn't know, or you're trying to retake sight after a post, you didn't know a Fenrir guy that was taken by a Brava could spell freaking disaster.
This is 100% a quick window plant for eWAVE, and they're gonna try and do it. And like I'm like 80% certain that the blitz jumps into a frost map.
10
For
seconds
quick
left before
execute,
insertion.
we need a couple different operators, right? Let's see the Lion and the Figure.
5 seconds left before
Zero
insertion.
intel and 0 health help support
I mean,
that execute.
every operator has a point. So you've got like Juts as your entry playing
Attackers
Ash.
drop the diffuser.
You've got
Attackers
Pat
recovered the
literally
bomb
just to
diffuser.
throw in those track stingers and just be annoying. Rizraz is entirely there to deal with gadgetry and just remove it rather than hack it. And then you've got Dex for smokes and fire. More than likely, Don's going to go up to the top here. As you can see, he's going to get himself in and probably try and, you know, isolate whoever's playing around inside of the library.
Yeah, I think a bit better of an idea here to go for more of the standard push. I don't think we've got the right operators
Swapping mags.
to be real with. Yeah, but so got to get this library hold, and that's going to be the first one off the board. Would love to have seen the Doc there to play that corner like you were talking about for Clubhouse, and that catwalk hold. But it looks like
I love this, like, I love seeing the alt-walking Blitz with the shield on his back. I love this so much, because this is how you hide Blitz from Solace. You put your shield on your back, because Solace can't see the shield while it's on your back, and then you just alt-walk around so no one can hear the shield shuffling.
Love it. Playing into a bit of the mental here as they're taking a look at the top library stairs. Gotta force this Wamai out. You know there's some discs there this time. Gosh. Oh, there we go.
Oh my
Damage
goodness.
done onto him, but he survives. Blitz able to get himself around, but not gonna do it that time. P90 gonna take him off the board, but does get traded out immediately as Judd's gonna find one. Now takes us into a 4-4. It's played out the exact same way, right? Don gets taken off the board, the refrag happens, and now we sit 4-4 for the last minute 15.
Well, the stomach cramps I'm getting right now are about as bad as, like, the cramps that I'm seeing from eWAVE's playstyle, but either way, we're going to be seeing F7 find another one, and, you know, once again, we've seen this position before where it goes a trade either way. We have a 4v4 situation, and then eWAVE just falter, and that's like really, really scary, especially if that happens twice in a row, because at the moment you're just seeing them do essentially the same thing. Like, they found that one kill after one being found themselves, and then they started playing the trade game, and I mean, they have managed to get one back in order for it to be a 3 versus 3, but they've lost another player, and now they've just got the Ash and the Gridlock in this 2 versus 3 situation.
Yeah, a bit of an uphill climb here, but that's going to be a great way to start it out. Pat finds Matt off the board, and now takes us into a 2v2, 17 seconds left, and that's a bada bing, bada boom. Defenders take 2.
They do, as lovely little MP7 onto the forehead of the Gridlock is able to, you know, lock out the round, and if we're able to carry it forward with this momentum, we definitely going to probably see quite a lot of, you know, strengths coming from the side of Flawless 7 throughout the game, because they're just, for some reason, so good at this defensive side. And I mean, this time around we are going to be seeing that Doc, and I think it's very possible that we do see him in that library corner.
Need to locate and defuse
Yeah,
bombs.
huge for holding that 2F real estate, right? It's library, and it's important. And so with the Doc in the corner, make sure that, because they are bringing the captains out, right? They are going to try to fire that corner and flush whoever is out of there, maybe potentially with the nades. I'd love to see a Gridlock track go down and then a fire to keep them in there. Nice little combo. Win conditions here, they have definitely got to get active and take him off the board. He has got to be dealt with, or eWAVE going to be
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think I think that definitely could be a win condition, but I feel like
Attackers are
I am
bomb and defuse it.
it's probably just entirely going to come down to whether they're able to play the trade game or not, because they obviously have been playing the trade game in the previous round, and that's not what they want. They want to be able to just like find kills and maintain an advantage. But the problem is they're just not able to maintain an advantage so far on the side of eWAVE, so they're just kind of struggling into the later rounds. So if anything, we want to see them try and like find kills without dying. And obviously Matty says no. So
Pro tip, folks, you heard it here first. Find kills without dying. Round.
pretty much. I mean, it's a lot easier than it sounds.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and you might expect the opposite. You might expect it to be a lot harder than it sounds. But it's one of those where there is a lot of baiting that goes into finding kills, and especially as an attacking team, you have 5 players, man, that you can all use to, you know, play these crossfires, play these angles, and really set yourselves up for situations like this to be able to find these kills. Like one of those, for example, like just baiting on the balcony, the man jumps out the window straight into a claymore. Like, you play these baits, and you're able to just find like very free and easy kills. But for some reason, eWAVE, rather than choosing to, you know, play into that playstyle, they're just opting to try and play the trade game, which clearly just isn't working for them.
Boy, Pat is in a precarious situation here as the run out is. There it is. Oh, but he finds it. He gets a little bit closer to equalizing that body count. So now we find ourselves into a 3v2 all wrestling. Dex and Pat. So trying to reclaim that scoreline lead. The slow climb up the ladder, really trying not to reveal his location, catch somebody slipping, put him sleeping, but it's a bunker down here for the defense as they're set up and they are ready for the window push.
I'd like to just quickly thank everybody that has followed the stream and, you know, is showing support, chatting around inside of the World chat, because, you know, it gives us stuff to talk about, and it also allows us to keep doing this. So keep supporting ESA. My name's Naj, and I'm not very important to this community, but I exist.
15 seconds
So
left.
that's fun. Pistol guy decides to jump in the window. Oh, not pistol guy. Dex decides to jump in the window and just gets slammed. And then Maxi finds the final kill onto K9 door. That's very, very good for, well, the side of F7. F7 are just running away with this now. This could very easily be like an easy 2-0.
Yeah, three unanswered rounds puts them one away from a match point scenario. And yeah, unless we see something special out of eWAVE, I don't know. This one could be over in 2.
Well,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at that score. The kills. That's satisfying.
I'm gonna
Attackers need to locate.
I'm gonna try and send it with the casting to, you know, not have like
Attackers have
a
located
completely
the bomb.
boring cast of me being very ill. So we are going to be going to this kitchen dining site for the potential penultimate round of this game, as we are going to be seeing F7 on the defense, again bringing along that Solace, again bringing along that Fenrir. They've got the one Mai, and then also the Mozzie and the Frost. And well, Frost is one we've seen before. Mozzie is one that we see relatively occasionally in Chalet, just in general.
5 seconds left before insertion.
But that's mainly because he's one of those operators that's
Attackers
only really utilised in very aggressive stances, and with him playing around on those main stairs, that's something that you can kind of expect him to be trying to go for, because, well, he's an aggressive operator, man. Like, he's going to be on those main stairs. He's going to be trying to maybe shoot out whatever breaching utility they try and go for on the main wall.
That's the P10, man, right? It's active, it moves, it brings death in a quick nature, and you've got that mobile intel. I love the and just as you said it, he's getting active early, but he's running.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
across the main lobby.
He just
Rule
finds a
number
kill
1.
again.
Setting
And he gets the ace as well. Like, it's mental.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
And they were going for that standard split that I was, or
Diffuser has
standard
been
push that I was
dropped.
telling you about, right? They
Yeah.
opted for ace instead of thermite. Not going to be able to do it as Matt finds that kill again, gives them the body balance again. So win conditions, not seeing that so far. And F7 up.
We know they are protected. Reloading.
Time to tickle some
Well,
toes.
now we're going to be seeing these track stingers get placed down on the blue stairs as, well, Pat's going to be wanting to try and make his presence known. Multi, or Hassie, I guess, going to be hovering around on the half wall on that second floor inside of office. And, well, not really a lot going on for either side right now. We've just kind of seen them both stagnate, and I mean, for the defenders, that's completely acceptable, but for the attackers, they're down a player, and they've got to try and play this trade game that they've been so unfortunately bad at throughout this entire sort of series. So we're going to have to see if they can, you know, really make a change to that this time around. And, you know, find themselves something to really write home about.
4-3 now as the last one starts to ring out. And yeah, forced to go through these doorways as the hard breach is moving off the that grenade gonna ring out. Shots on the piano as the rotate into bathroom and they're gonna lose their lives across the way. Take shots off the board now to a 4v2 to a 3v2 as the trade does ring out as that pistol guy gets ripped off the board on the body shot, but it's gonna be Dex swinging around. Does he know? Mozzie gonna clean it up easy now into a 3v1 and to a 3v none, and Defender's gonna put themselves on a match.
It's just crazy how strong F7 look. Like, genuinely, like, one of these teams is disbanding after ESA's over. The other one's eWAVE. Like, what are we looking at right now? This is obscene. Sorry. There's no way that the team that is like guaranteed disbanding and doesn't want to like really, you know, commit too hard to practicing and warming up and all this stuff is flattening you. Like, once again, we're in a 6-4 situation. It's possible that eWAVE do win another round and they manage to get it to 6-5, but realistically, I don't see this going past a 7-5. I really don't.
Here's the difference, Naj, right? I think that F7, because they're disbanding, the pressure's gone, right? The pressure to perform, it's out of there. So mental is in the unchopped state. And if you're on the side of eWAVE and you know you're getting
10 seconds to insertion
that is disbanding, that's the mental chop going in that favor, especially if you've already lost one round to them. So it's all headed in favor of F7 here.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
And move on. And they're just out here having fun, right? Pull out the Solus, pull out the Fenrir, the Thorn. We're just straight picking the cheese ops and having fun.
I'm reloading.
I feel like Stucky and Kelstrom probably hate me right now because I've done nothing but bully eWAVE for like the entire cast.
Hey,
but
eWAVE is a great team, right? And they've shown some very valiant attempts. But here's the deal. It's not that F7's winning these. eWAVE is just losing these rounds.
At the very start, I said like eWAVE are really showing some prowess like across multiple different leagues at the moment. And it's like they're just getting they look very bad in this game. Put it that way. And it's probably not their fault. But they don't look they're not having fun.
I think that's the key. That's the difference.
Like look at this, man. Like, you've got Don. Don's literally 0 kills right now. Since the rehost. And we're just seeing eWAVE actually manage to get themselves on the board. Dex finds the first frag. As I said, very possibly, eWAVE could win out this round, but I really don't see it going past a 7-5 because of the fact that we are able to go back to more fun sites for these defenders as we move through the rotation. But yes, they've managed to find one pick. They haven't really cleared the water just yet because they've still got players everywhere. They've still got the Solace on the top floor. They've still got the man that is going to be playing around those main stairs and, you know, being a nuisance to the people that are going to be playing on the K9 window and also main door. Alongside the two players on site.
Oh. Nade meta, or I mean the non-nade meta showing his face there. Allows that grenade to go unfazed on the stairs, the thorn, the mat. Now we sit 4-4, it's 40 seconds left. Back
oh my god, that was so close.
Oh no, Naj. Here it is, 33 seconds left, and defense is up in the body count. It's going to have to see something here pretty special by the attack team. Well, there's a good way to start him. Got Fenrir off the board. John going to finally get active and find that kill. Now takes us into a 3-3, 18 seconds left. It's going to be the rotate by Brava. You don't have time, Brava. And still haven't dealt with the Thorn who's sitting up here in the library. Lana goes down to 290, now into 3 seconds, 3 kills, 8 seconds left, and it's too little, it's too late. F7 gonna claim that best of 3.
Oh no, I understand that F7 are gonna try even though they're disbanding, but like, what I'm saying is F7 look very easily like the much stronger team in this matchup. Even though the games are close, they look very easily like the much stronger team in this matchup for the simple reason that even when they've been in these positions, they haven't struggled. And that's kind of what makes them look a bit scarier. They're not really sacrificing player performance for like strategy. And when you look at a team that's disbanding, you usually expect a very different way of playing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that eWAVE is supposed to be one of these more formidable teams, that I do agree with being the case, they've just been completely steamrolled. I'll be completely honest. Like, I think eWAVE should have put up much more of a fight than what they did.
Yeah, F7 just a bit hungrier here at the end as they take 2. Close it out against eWAVE. It was a valiant attempt. It was fun to watch. Hey, just want to say a huge shout out and thank you to everybody that's hanging out and watching with us. We wouldn't be allowed to do what we do, which is talk about Siege, if it weren't for you. Shout out to production and the ESA for hosting the match. And as always, Naj, man, it's just a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to cast beside you. I look forward to every single time.
I'm just a nuisance. That's like
that's true. That's true.
That's my entire like business card. Just being a nuisance. Yeah, this is well, that's been F7 versus eWAVE. Tune in. I don't even know when for the next one. And we'll see you then.
That's right, folks. Thank you so much. As always, you don't have to go home, but you can.